The University of North Florida in Jacksonville conducts millions of dollars in research every year. But how can you do any of that without the right tools? I'm Derek Knutstrup, a student here at UNF. Check out how our research equipment helps mold the minds of tomorrow's scientists.
The electron microscope works by using electrons to create the image. This particular microscope is a scanning electron microscope. So it scans the object that you would like to see with a beam of electrons and then collects those electrons and develops an image sort of like on a television. So it can magnify the size of the image by almost 1,000,000 times. This allows us to see very small details in the samples that we put in. There are a lot of things in our environment that we need to know more about. What kind of chemicals are in the water we drink, what kind of chemicals are in the air we inhale. We're working at developing sensors that will enhance humans' native abilities to detect those things.
It enhances a lot because without this instrument I cannot check whether my sensor is a nanocrystalline or not. So every time it goes like a black and white, with the help of this instrument, whenever I fabricate any sensor, I immediately put in a chamber and look the structure. I can confirm that this is my nanocrystalline based gas sensor. And that saves me a lot of time.
I'm using an electron microscope for research under Dr. Patel. We're making the nanocrystalline gas sensors. We're looking at Dr. Huebner's photoelectric sensors as well. I think it's definitely given me a little bit of a step up as far as I'm actually using instrumentation that most people don't usually get to use for their undergraduate work. So there's, like I said, there's a lot of learning curve, especially on this type of instrumentation, that I'm kind of getting ahead of as far as learning how to use things. So in graduate work, if I need to specifically use these things, it's just I can just jump onto it and get right down to the heart of what the research will be.
Well, just from the name you can tell that it measures Raman spectrum. What's Raman spectrum? It's stuff which is given away by samples, has very low intensity. So you need to have a special equipment to measure this low intensity spectrum. That's the equipment, that's the Raman spectrometer. You can study liquids, you can study gases, you can study solids. I'm in particular interested in sensor design, and I'm interested in materials which have so-called phase transitions, like melting of ice. The good thing is that the spectrometer is, it's controlled by the software and it's fairly user-friendly. I'm currently working with 2 students and I'm gonna train them how to use the equipment. And I hope that at some point I should be able to tell them, well, I would like you to measure spectrum in this particular geometry for this particular material. Please go and do it.
Well, the X-ray diffractometer enables the students to follow their synthesis. So after they conduct a heating cycle, okay, they're able to check their compound after that heating cycle is done and determine what phases are present. What they are able to do with this is not only figure out what's present in their compound, but we can also figure out the structure of the compounds that they're making. And that plays a very important role in determining their properties. Well, this will be used extensively, so that the students will use it basically every day. And on top of that, they'll again do their synthesis, they'll check it after each run, and then in the final stage we'll collect a detailed run and then analyze that data and figure out how the atoms are arranged, what their crystal structure is, and then try to publish that information. As far as the research goes, this is a tool that's really required to do sort of cutting-edge research in the field of solid-state chemistry. And as far as teaching, it would be good to have the students get the exposure in this technique in case they need to use that in the future. It's relatively rare to place a small, predominantly undergraduate institution to have this sort of equipment. That's why it's very exciting to get this and then get these students involved in using it.
You just learned about some of the high-tech equipment our students and researchers get to use on campus. If you want to know more, check out unf.edu.